listen to this, and you can double check it on your phone later. The World Intellectual Property Organization, which registers inventions, and remember we're standing in Benin, in this city, 2,000 years ago at the time of the birth of Jesus Christ, Africans had discovered iron. They were smelting it in Benin. 2,000 years ago. 500 years ago, right here in Edo, people discovered how to mix copper with tin to make bronze. That is 500 years ago. Today, we are discovering nothing. Now, for those of you who have read the book A Bend in the River by V.S. Naipaul, this is what V.S. Naipaul's, this is how it opens, and it's about Africa. Those men who allow themselves to become nothing Let me see if I can actually read you the quote directly, because it actually captures a lot of what has happened. And I'll come back to this very quickly. And if I don't find the quote, I will somehow pull it out of my head in the next few seconds. Okay, I found it, okay? This is Naipaul in A Bend in the River. The world is what it is. Those men who are nothing or allow themselves to become nothing have no place in it. If we don't take idea number 2 seriously, your great-grandchildren will become nothing. We shall be recolonized and re-enslaved. Let me quickly take you back to Wipo, and I would rather actually read it directly. And if I can't read it directly, I'll pull it out of my head somehow. Okay, now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Discoveries. When you discover anything in your universities or in your research clusters, you have to register a patent. Israel, the country of Israel, which has a population of 9 million, which is half of the population of Lagos, 9 million. Now remember, they give aid to Kenya and to Zambia and to Nigeria and to South Africa. How many are they? 9 million. Israel in 2022, according to the World Intellectual Property Organization, registered 17,327 discoveries, patents. 17,327. Nigeria, with a population of over 220 million, registered 16. Ghana registered 11. Zambia 14. Egypt 866. All the 54 countries of Africa, with a population of over 1.5 billion, registered less discoveries than Israel. All of us together cannot compete with 9 million people. 9. Reason, idea number 2. comes to research publications in science and technology and other fields, the whole of Africa has only 2%. And 90% of the 2% come from one country. Can you guess which one? South Africa. Because that's the only country that has a university among the top 200. And it's the only country that has universities that appear among the top 300. At the very top, you have UCT and you have FITS. I will stop very soon. Okay, so I'll mention a few more stories. Apologies for people who have to go to the airport. I'll mention a few more stories with serious apologies. Let me jump to something else. Talking about leadership. The United States of America, which is a democracy and a champion of free markets, is heavily subsidizing semiconductors for artificial intelligence and technology. Heavily subsidizing, literally giving billions of dollars to companies. You give the company money, okay? That is free markets in the United States. Lots of money going into agriculture, semiconductors, automobiles, electric automobiles, that's the US. China, where we import almost everything, is heavily subsidizing industry, openly, billions of dollars into batteries and EVs. Every continent is heavily supporting their industries except one continent. Can you guess which one? When children are trying to understand the world, and by the way, almost every child is born very curious, always asking questions. Okay. In other words, almost every child is actually a genius, almost. Now, look at something so complicated like human language. By age 2, our children can speak a human language. That's how bright they are. But there's a second language that every child has to be taught, and it's a slightly more difficult language. That language is called mathematics. Now listen to this. God in his wisdom made 7 continents. One of the 7, which is Antarctica, people don't live there permanently. So there are 6 left where we can live. There's only one continent out of the 6 where you take people who know 0 mathematics to teach in grade 1, 2, and 3. Can you guess which one?